Hi there, Cancer. Thank you for joining me for your monthly forecast for April. You have a reputation for being someone who's very much a feeling sign due to the ruling planet of the moon, which influences your sign. You can often soak up the atmosphere of situations without even having a discussion and decipher what's really going on. But also there's another part of your sign which is to do with its cardinality, which makes you someone who can actually take on an enormous amount of responsibility. And whether it's at home or professionally, your leadership skills are often absolutely brilliant. Over the last 4 years or so, you've had an opportunity to really sparkle in an unusual and original way. So if you are someone who's very creative and self-expressive, I think that period of time may have seen you do really well. If you're someone who likes a more settled role, however, the impact of Uranus in the part of your horoscope to do with the way you interact with the world at large may have created environments which have seen you restless, or it's seen people around you constantly changing the rules and regulations and protocols, which has made it difficult to feel really at ease. And all of that is going to reach something of a high point this month, but I think it's going to be a month which can really decide whether you're going to stick with the course that you're on or head in a completely new direction. Now, change is something that's quite controversial. Some of us thrive on it, others of us find it really difficult. And of course, some of us have a mixture of those two things. If we keep eating the same food every night, we'd soon get very bored. However, we might like certain favourites that we will repeat. So it's finding the right balance. And as this month begins, there is a gorgeous link between the Sun and Saturn. Now, Saturn's about structure, but at the end of last month, Saturn slammed on the brakes. And anything to do with the setup of your life, whether it is to do with the organisation of your home, your health, your fitness, your diet, or where you work, those are going to come under much more of the astral microscope over the next 5.5 months. But this angle with the Sun suggests your very organisational genius can see you really catch the eye of someone influential. And they may want to build a relationship with you which puts you in a situation where you take on more responsibility. Now, if you're up for the challenge, that's wonderful. But the really ironic thing is, there's another influence at play in the first week, which suggests if you're working in an environment where you don't like the people you work for, or you have a line manager that you find really difficult to handle, your emotions can really be close to the surface, and particularly once the new moon occurs on the 7th, because then that's combining with the restless vibe of Uranus, which has been causing such a lot of potential opportunity, but also potential mischief, depending on the type of person you are. So over the next few weeks, I do feel that you may find yourself heading in that new direction, wanting to liberate yourself from something that's no longer working to your satisfaction, or conversely, enjoying really grappling with some kind of challenge or a mental challenge which sees you taking on greater responsibilities, but perhaps in a slightly different way. So that could be a chance to be very enterprising, and also your ability to communicate with people, which is often really superb. That's going to be enhanced by the arrival of Venus on the 6th into a part of your horoscope which is also very visible. But that's merging with Uranus from the 19th to the 25th. So there may be someone you work with that you actually could find yourself being drawn towards in a romantic context during that period of time. Or it could be that someone you get on well with professionally can surprise you by some of the moves they pull, which can be good for you. But also on the 6th, Mercury moves into the part of your horoscope to do with cooperation and long-term thinking. It also, from the 12th to the 17th, forges a sensational angle with, yes, you've got it, Jupiter, the planet of expansion and good fortune. Don't underestimate the impact that your words and your persuasive skills can have on someone that you encounter during that period of time. But the backdrop for all of this is another influence which implicates your 6th solar house where Saturn is, and that is the role of Mars. Mars arrived in that area last month, and on the face of it gave you a lot more drive and purposefulness and maybe some more physical energy. But Mars is going to be squaring with the dreamy influence of Neptune this month. And if you're being too obliging to other people all throughout April and bending yourself inside out to try to please others and not setting some firm boundaries in terms of preserving your own sanity when it comes to balancing what you want to do for others and being idealistic and kindly with what you need to do for yourself, I do feel that all this turbulence which is going around your worldly role could actually start to tell in some neat stress and some very low energy, particularly with Saturn heading backwards. You also may encounter someone who, as much as you'd like to believe that they're very genuine, they may offer you some kind of fantastic opportunity, but it's all fantasy and no substance. So check out anything that you are offered, scrutinise it in a very careful way. Now the Sun moves on the 20th, and that's actually going to be a good news story because it moves into a friendlier, more sociable part of your scope. You can let a sigh of relief out. It's an opportunity to engage more with others. It connects, of course, with Mercury. Now there is a full moon on the 22nd. This full moon is just saying manage your time as well as your friendships, your love relationship. All of those are going to be pulling and pushing for your attention. And as the last 10 days of this month unfolds, make sure that you're doing things that are in balance, that give you an opportunity to breathe as well as go out and have fun. But as this month finally comes to a close, Venus relocates into the sign of Taurus too. And that can be particularly lovely. And it can mean some kind of invitation or connection with someone as April comes to a close, which can be truly significant. But I do feel that this is a month when you're going to need to be very much clearer about what you will do, who you will do it for, and maybe you need to accept that some changes are going to be necessary in your world because it's time to move on, or it's in time to embrace greater responsibility and demonstrate just how talented you really are. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Thank you for joining me. Good luck and goodbye for now.